Doesn't matter, the bulky man continues. You may as well be one of the 4 sages for all the time. All the good it will do you. Magic is not allowed in here. I could very well crush your puny head with my bare hands. You wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Now, why would you want to do that, I ask? Aren't we supposed to be part of the same team? The man's face contorts into a snarl at the sound of my words. Do you have any idea what you have done, you little bastard? The man shouts. Nope, I say. No idea whatsoever. Why don't you explain it to me? Well, I explained it to you, the man says, grinding his teeth. A little stunt with the noble has sealed all our fates. I heard the guard saying that the next arena event will be greatest in all of the history of Orathia. Not expecting any of us to make it out alive. They're sending us all to our death just to make sure that they also kill you in the process. The man is now clenching his fist so hard the blood is starting to drip out of it. While the two of us were talking, the doors leading to the individual cells were opening one by one. The people who had been woken up by the sound of the bulky man's voice are now stepping out of their room to watch the show. The only reason why I came to Thelius, bulky man says, was because I heard the Gnome King would rarely let the arena events in the city endanger the lives of the gladiators. I came here because I thought there was some easy money to be made, but now I'm just sitting here waiting for my execution, cursing my fate, cursing you. Why don't you just leave then, I say. You think I didn't try? The man shouts even louder than before. The owner of the arena isn't letting any of us go. It's the first time in years when he is being allowed to make the show as deadly as he wants. Do you know that he has been collecting rare beasts, keeping them in the underground tunnels for the past 10 years, waiting for a chance to parade them in front of an audience? Well, now that he has finally been given permission, the man is planning to make us fight every single one of them. He wants to make this crowning moment of his career. He doesn't care about the King of Thelius will do to him. He doesn't care what the King of Thelius will do to him if he goes overboard. As long as the one show is successful, he may as well die for all he cares. So can we. Get a hold of yourself, tell him. You're acting as if you're getting sent to the gallows, not to a gladiatorial event. I didn't come here to waste time wallowing in self-pity. I came here to win. After hearing what I have to say, the bulky man completely loses the little self-control he had left. He swings his right fist in my face with full force. What are my stats at exactly? Oh wow, I have no strength. Yeah, I'm fucked. I am fucked until the speed or reflex is a thing, because these are the stats for my own playthrough. The other playthrough I have better stats than this, but yeah, in this one I do not have any good stats than this. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to take this attack. Toughness check failed, strength check failed, combat technique check failed, reflexes check successful, at least one successful check. I probably would have died if all of them had failed. React just in time and managed to get out of the way before his arm reaches me. My attacker wastes no time. He attempts to hit me again, this time with his left fist. Stumble a bit because I didn't properly regain my footing after dodging his last strike, but I get to avoid his next blow just the same. For the next half a minute, the bulky man unleashes a flurry of punches upon me, the attempt to catch me off guard at least once. However, even if at certain point it seems as if I was about to slip up, I would always somehow manage to regain my balance and to miraculously avoid getting hit. But it might have seemed impossible for anyone watching the fight. After he realized that he isn't getting anywhere, the bulky man stopped attacking me, and he just stands there watching me for a few seconds. Now I understand where your confidence is coming from, he says in disgust. I see that you handle yourself pretty well even without your magic, but don't make the mistake of thinking that you can just avoid fighting forever. The arena event won't be over until either you or the monsters are dead. Don't worry, I say. Dodging isn't the only thing I'm good at. We'll see, the bulky man says. He then turns away from me and heads towards this cell. Of the 4 people that were spectating our fight, two are now going back to their cell. One is heading towards me, and the last one is still standing by the door, watching me intently. The one who is heading towards me is a man about my age, who's wearing his hair in a ponytail, who has a way of smiling that reminds me of Aiden. The one that remained by the door watching me is a girl with long silver hair, who appears to be no older than 20. The man with the ponytail stops in front of me. He smiles politely. I said you were able to hold your own against Bruce even without your magic. He says, impressive. Not many would dare to face him head on like you just did. I barely managed to survive that fight. If I had failed all of them, I would have gotten the shit kicked out of me. Fucking hell. It's a good thing that only one check was required to survive that fight. I wonder what happened if you have all the stats. But we'll probably see in the what is that called? Fuck. The clear playthrough. Whatever. The man with the ponytail steps in front of me and smiles. Yeah, we already saw the. May I ask for your name? Premonition check failed. There was a premonition check here. Yeah, it's Barry, I say. Barry, the man asked, a little surprised. That's an unusual name for a mage, so I've been told. Forgive me, I didn't mean to sound rude. It's just that most of the mages I've met in the past, they have had very unique names. Most parents who find out that they have a mage in the family feel the need to show it off in any way they can, so they usually name them pretentious sounding names like Zelnir or Vasiroth. It's almost like a tradition, but to give you such a common name as Barry, my parents have never been the type to follow tradition. I see. The man says, smiling as he extends his hands towards me. My name is Wilhelm. Pleased to meet you. Shake the man's hand. He keeps smiling at me with a friendly expression on his face. Listen, Wilhelm says, I know that you haven't really gotten the best of receptions here in your decision, but I personally think that there's nothing worse than having a fight with a teammate before a life-threatening event such as this. They want to let you know that I'm on your side. Sorry, I prefer to work alone. Thanks for letting me know. I'll just try to maintain like a good relation for now. Well, that's all I wanted to say, Wilhelm says. We should both go to sleep. I hear that this recreation period is starting early tomorrow. So I've heard that too, I say. Have a good night. Same to you, Wilhelm says. Wilhelm, what does that remind me of something? As he starts heading towards his cell. After Wilhelm closes his door, the girl with the silver hair watches me for another few seconds. Then she also goes inside her room, shutting the door behind her. I decide that there is no use in lingering around any longer, so I head towards my room as well. When I get inside my cell, I see that the only piece of furniture available for me is a bed made entirely out of stone. I lock the door with a key I got from the desk worker. I throw my backpack on the ground and I go to sit on the bed. The only source of light in the room appears to be coming from a very small window above me, which gives me a direct view towards the corridor outside the recreation area. There doesn't seem to be any movement in the tunnel outside my cell. The guards must either be sleeping or patrolling a different corridor. Where do I take a piss? Is there a piss hole in here? I take a sweater out of my backpack. I use it as a makeshift pillow to put on my cold stone bed as soon as I place my head on it. I fall asleep. I wake up about 7 hours later to sound of the guard's voice coming from outside my cell. Get up, guard says. It's recreation time. Go recreate. Come on, get out of here. I reluctantly get out of bed, put my sweater on my backpack, then head back. Am I just carrying my backpack everywhere? Then head back towards the recreation area. I make sure to lock the door behind me on my way out and then head towards the corner of the room where there are no people around. I take a quick look around the room to see who else they placed in my division. Aside from Bruce and Wilhelm, who I met yesterday, there's the silver-haired girl that was staring at me. Then there were two more individuals that both look like gladiator version of Cutthroat Dave. The two thugs seem to be the only ones who were actually talking to each other. The other three are each just standing somewhere as far as possible from everyone else, leaning with their backs against the wall, their arms crossed, waiting for the recreation period to be over. What am I supposed to do now? I can't say that I feel like talking with any of these people. What is there to talk about? We weren't even told what the first round will be like. But how are we supposed to make a strategy? Maybe I should just go back and get a book to read or something. I stand there and think about going back to my cell. Willem suddenly moves away from the wall. He starts to head towards me. He then stops in front of me. I see that he has an unusual determined look on his face. Good morning, Wilhelm says. Got some news for you that I think you might find useful. From what I've heard, in a few hours from now, Ambassador and the arena's owner will be discussing important matters about the organization of the arena's events. The guards in the place have a habit of overhearing these types of conversations, and they usually like to discuss them amongst themselves. Make sure you pay close attention to what they're saying outside your cell. I'll do the same. That's interesting. I say I'll keep that in mind. Alright, Wilhelm says, that's all I wanted to tell you. I'll make sure to let you know if I hear anything. I hope you'll do the same. Of course, I say. Suddenly realized the girl with the silver hair was staring at me again. In fact, I think she's been staring at me for a long time. Now notice me looking towards the girl. He gives me a smirk. I wouldn't waste my time trying to talk to that one themselves. We're all tried, but she wouldn't say a word. I think that there are silver-haired princess is either mute or she's taken a vow of silence of some sort. Either way, I doubt you'll get anything out of her. He then bows politely and goes back towards his corner of the room. As Willem walks past the girl on his way back, she pays him no mind. She keeps looking at me, directly at me. Okay, now I'm certain that she is doing it on purpose. What does she want from me? Does she want me to go talk to her? I guess that's the only way out of it. What? Just leave her. I calmly start heading towards the girl by paying close attention to her reaction. The girl seems unfazed by my decision to approach her. She keeps looking at me in the eyes even after I stop in front of her. I take a better look at this girl. I see that she is at least one head shorter than me, and then she has a very frail constitution. I can see why Wilhelm would choose to call her a princess. She doesn't look like a fighter. Her clothes, however, are nothing close to what a princess might wear. She is wearing a simple beige blouse, short leggings that seem comfortable to move in, and wooden sandals. Despite her frail looking body, the girl is wearing 2 knives on her belt, and her arms and legs are full of bruises, which indicate that she has been likely in a fight shortly after she was incarcerated.